Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Stigma-Free Society. My name is Nisha Khare. I'm the co-founder of Biography and Women of Wonder. I'm a director, producer, and a registered clinical counselor. And so through this Facebook live event, I'm representing the Stigma-Free Society. It's a Canadian registered charity, and it aims to reduce the stigma of all kinds. And it really has a focus on mental health. So what they do is promote mental wellness education for youth, and for parents, and at the same time providing resources for educators and counselors and guardians. And so the Society's goal is to create awareness of the various stigmas that exist in the world and develop an understanding of the challenges that numerous people face and encourage people to foster acceptance of not only themselves, but of others. So to learn more, visit www.stigmafreesociety.com. And so I would like to welcome our guest today. Our guest is Tanpreet Parmar. Hi, Tanpreet. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Amazing. Thank you. So Tanpreet and I have known each other ever since Tanpreet was a child, just like when she first came to Canada. And it's really been wonderful watching her grow up into this lovely woman she is today. And so I'll tell you guys a bit about Tanpreet. So Tanpreet adheres to the quote, "Success is not about what you accomplish in life. It is about what you inspire others to do." So she aims to encourage others to cultivate their own successes and turn that life that they dream of into a reality. So Tanpreet is a model, actress, and philanthropist, and she obtained a BBA majoring in Human Resource Management. She was crowned Miss Charity BC in 2014, and Tanpreet was recognized for raising the most money for the Canadian Cancer Society and also crowned Miss India Canada in 2016. Tanpreet recently placed second runner-up at Miss Canada 2020, and she strongly believes in giving back to the community and continues to remain both active by hosting and supporting charitable events. She's regularly invited to engage in motivational speaking with youth, which she shares the challenges, failures, and insecurities she has encountered in her personal life. So welcome, Tanpreet.
Thank you.
Let's talk a bit about you. Tell us a bit about yourself and how did you come to where you are today?
Well, thanks for the introduction. You basically explained everything. But yes, I have been in the industry for modeling, acting, and pageantry for a few years now. I was very, very excited about just entering an industry where I just wanted to see myself one day on TV or be in a magazine. I was really fascinated by the whole entertainment industry. So I just kind of got into it very authentically. You started off with local modeling, and that led me to doing more acting gigs and modeling gigs, which led me to doing pageants. I did my first pageant in BC, and that led me to going to another pageant, which was the Miss India Canada pageant. And from there, other opportunities came my way with hosting, public speaking. I pageant coach, I train girls, and it's a little bit of everything, but that's how it kind of started for me.
Amazing, amazing. And so maybe you can tell us a bit about what your personal experience has been with mental health.
With mental health. So everybody has mental health and we all experience it differently. And for me, my mental health was affected through poor body image. And I had developed poor body image at a younger age, possibly in around high school. So when I refer to body image, that can mean your body size, shape, height. It could mean your facial features or physical disabilities or differences. And I was very self-conscious about the way I looked. We grew up in a society where, the standards of the perfect body is so unrealistic, what we see on media, social media and television, magazines. And I was exposed to so much of it that it really affected my mental health and about how I felt about myself. I did not like the way I looked. I was really conscious about what I would wear, how I would eat. I had developed a really unhealthy mindset, and I was definitely not happy with the way I was. I didn't feel confident at all during high school. And then I entered this industry, which was so image focused. So being in an industry, whether it be modeling, acting, pageantry, it is very image focused. And unfortunately, during my time when I had just started, I had dealt with a lot of criticism due to my body size and shape. I was definitely not a size 0 or a size 2, and I never will be. I was rejected due to my size. I was told that I didn't have that perfect look. And I kept thinking to myself, like, what is that perfect look? And I was very critical of myself due to that. So I developed a lot of restrictive eating habits, and I thought that doing that would possibly fix my body image struggles, but it didn't. I only started to feel worse, and it led to a lot more, but that's what led me to my mental health being affected.
Wow. And so what helps you cope with your, struggles with mental health? What helps you cope with that on a daily basis?
Totally. So a big thing is being able to understand that you're dealing with something. For the longest time, I didn't notice my behavior, and sometimes you will not notice it. It might be a friend or a family member, and somebody might point it out. And when I started behaving a certain way, being very anxious and watching what I ate, and I started becoming very obsessive about the way I looked, and I started exercising a lot. I thought dieting was going to do the job for me. And I would have moments where if I missed a workout or I ate something that was not a part of my diet, I didn't feel good about myself. So I developed anxiety, which when you have anxiety, you tend to breathe rapidly. You can feel different ways. And I would do that a lot. So eventually I came to realize that I don't feel okay, and how was I going to cope with it? It was more so by talking to my family and friends who actually noticed and approached me. I was just lucky that I had others notice it before I did and actually had a conversation with me. And sometimes that might not be the case, but I'm glad that was for me, because I felt like it could have gotten worse. I possibly could have even led to having a eating disorder, which I'm grateful that I was not diagnosed with. But what I did was starting to learn to eliminate the things that were making me feel the way I felt, whether that be on social media, unfollowing those accounts that were making me feel not so great about my body image or my mental health and my mindset, or simply trying to develop positive self-talk. So doing affirmations daily, such as like, I am beautiful, or today's going to be a great day, and today I feel good, I look good, and that's all that matters. So when you talk to yourself and try to give yourself that motivation, that positive self-talk, it can really make a huge difference. And those were just some of the things that I was doing, but it took me a lot of time.
Yeah, no, those all sound like really positive things to do, and different ways to kind of, make yourself feel good and start your day off well. And great to have people around you that you could, talk to. And so what role do you think social media plays into, the stress or anxiety of body dysmorphic disorder or eating disorders today?
So yes, so negative body image can lead to having disorders like that. And I think that social media can be great in many ways, if you're doing it for the right things and raising awareness. And I love social media for those reasons. However, I think one thing that, especially young girls, like what I dealt with and what people need to understand is that what they see on social media is not real. Pictures can be altered. Pictures can be photoshopped. There's whatever you see, it's just not real. It's not reality. So, even nowadays with modern society, now people can alter the way they look. You can put something in your face to just enhance your look, or just do things to make yourself look differently. And I think that's what we're all getting exposed to nowadays. And I grew up being exposed to that. So I think it does impact everyone's mental health. And what I had to do was just get rid of that and realize that, okay, this is not real. This is not reality. There's no such thing as a perfect body. You have to learn to love yourself and embrace your own natural beauty. And that's truly what's perfect.
Yeah, totally. And so how did you come to work in your industry, and what stigmas have you faced because of it?
Well, with my industry, so one thing that I've struggled with is, to be very honest, and I haven't spoken up about this, but is making friends. I think that I have dealt with a lot of bullying within my industry. I think people within the modeling or acting and pageantry, maybe I can speak for others, maybe I can't, or some might be able to relate to me, but I think people have a negative perception of the people we are and what we do and the kind of people we are. So assuming like we're not very approachable or very kind individuals, or that we don't do anything and besides just being on social media or just having like a fun life, but that's not the reality of it. And the one reason why I actually love and do pageants is that we all come in with a purpose. There's so many smart, young, beautiful individuals and girls that go into pageants with all these great platforms and raise so much awareness, and there's so much that we do. And I think that there's a lot of stigma around it and a lot of negative just perception around what we do and why we do and how, we just do things for fun and to the kind of people we are. But there's a lot more to us than what you see.
Okay. And maybe you could tell us a bit about, since we're talking about the pageants, like, tell us a bit about what they're like and what it's like being part of it and, what do they entail?
So every pageant, I do personally do pageants. Another reason how I helped with my body image and struggles was joining pageants that focused on inner beauty and personality. So what I did with my platform is I really like to encourage the importance of confidence, self-esteem, and acceptance within oneself. So that's always been my platform with my pageants. It's never changed, it never will, because it's so important to me. But the pageants that I've been a part of have been great because it involves a lot of like-minded, educated, talented girls who come together, and it's a bonding experience. So you get to meet people, and you get to meet people from all over the world. And we basically go through a bunch of activities and bonding activities that we do. We do things to kind of challenge ourselves, whether it's public speaking, even doing like on stage stuff, private interviews, speaking on stage, dancing, and all these kind of fun stuff. But for overall, I think it's a great way to boost your confidence, self-esteem, and that's what it did for me.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's really great. And how do you find it with like mental health within pageants? Like, do you notice anything with like girls in general, or yeah?
So a big thing, and something that a lot of people don't know about me, was when growing up, I would tell my friends I would never do a pageant because I had this perception that pageants were just about what you look like and having to look a certain way and be a certain way in order to join a pageant. And when I came across pageants that had nothing to do with that and actually being about who you were as a person, it really inspired me to actually join one and continue to do them. And I can see why a lot of girls have been affected by this world of pageants and modeling and acting, just because it can affect your mental health. I've had so many students that I've trained that came to me and told me that, what if I'm not good enough? And I had to explain to them that you are good enough. It's not about anything besides you and who you are and where you come from and what you believe in. And as long as you be your authentic self, you will shine. And I think that's one thing that I would really like to bring out there too. Like, there's a lot of good that can come out of these pageants, and sometimes it can help your mental health instead of bring it down.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great to hear. And that, and also that you've built a community within the pageant world. And so like, you were mentioning that you face stigmas sometimes with being, part of that world. Maybe you can tell us about like, how do you handle those stigmas that come up?
So I've struggled with a lot of, judgment and bullying, and simply just having people understand me for who I am and get to know me for me. And I think the main thing is it's really important to not judge anyone. I always think it's really important to get to know somebody, talk to them. I'm a very open person. I love meeting new people and learning about them, and then also sharing about myself. So I think that's a big thing. And, I think the main thing is understanding that not everyone will understand your journey and where you're coming from. And there's going to be a lot of negativity that can come your way in any aspect in your life, whether it's your career, education, friendships, anything. and it's a part of life. But I think it's all about having that mindset where you don't let these things bring you down. So I had moments where I'd been really low, that somebody said something about me or made an assumption or a judgment about the person I was or my industry and what I do. And I learned to, there's that saying, kill them with kindness. So, I'm a big believer in that. And I just tell everyone that, hey, like, let's have a conversation. Let's talk, get to know one another before you make that assumption, and just have that mindset.
That's wonderful. It's so great. So you recently have become a virtual school presenter with the Stigma-Free Society. That's exciting. So maybe tell us about like, what's your experience been so far, and like what has been beneficial about sharing your story?
I actually joined the Stigma-Free Society so I could not only help others, but I feel like it really helped myself get in tune with my own mental health and just reflecting on my day-to-day, just the way I'm feeling and how I can help others feel the way they need to feel. And my experience with Stigma-Free Society has been great. So the organization itself, the people are very accepting and very uplifting. And I think I'm so excited. I have not started, but I have presentations booked starting for next month. And I'm just really excited to be able to talk and share my story, because a big thing that I notice that people look at me and they think that, oh, she has this perfect life and she probably doesn't deal with mental health or anything. So I am just looking forward to be able to just share, talk, and also be inspired by others. And it's just something that I love to do. I've spoken at multiple conferences around the world during my pageants and my titles. So it's been something that I've really enjoyed doing.
Oh, that's wonderful. So what advice do you have for young people that may be facing challenges, the same kind of challenges maybe that you have?
So I think the biggest thing is learning to understand that there's no such thing as perfect. I think it's really important to learn to love yourself. And sometimes it's easier said than done, but you need to learn to embrace your uniqueness, your flaws, understand that beauty truly comes from within. And that's the biggest thing. And you'll shine no matter what. And sometimes talking to someone can really help, whether it be a friend, a family member, a counselor, a mentor. For me, I was lucky to have people to talk to and support me that were around me. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's just really learning to love yourself and just being around the people who love you and support you in your mental health and your well-being.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. And so maybe tell us a bit about like what your goals are for the future.
Yes. So ever since I started with Stigma-Free Society, I've really made it a priority to just make sure that I'm consistent with checking in on my mental health and making sure that I'm not getting back into the phase that I used to be in. So learning to just be more mindful is something that I'm really trying to work on, and knowing how to maintain that and be consistent with just maintaining good mental health and just kind of acknowledging those small things, because sometimes that can go a long way. And I know the past year with the pandemic, everything has just been really difficult in many ways for a lot of people. So my goal is to just be a more positive person overall, having a better outlook on life, and most importantly, practicing gratitude, which I lacked. So a big goal for me is learn to be grateful of the things that you have. And I'm really grateful that I'm just simply here today. I'm healthy, I'm alive, I'm with my family, and I have great friends for support. And just looking at the good in every situation, which we tend not to do. I feel like something happens and we just only focus on the bad. So another one of my goals is just look at the good. Find something that really will make you happy about it, no matter what it is.
Yeah, wonderful goals. That's amazing, Tanpreet. And so where can viewers find you, like on social media, and maybe follow some of like, the philanthropic work that you're doing?
Yes, so I am on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's just my handle, Tanpreet Parmar. I will be competing for my pageant soon, so that's coming up. And you can follow everything on there. Even with Stigma, I have all the updates with my presentations for next month and lots of things to share on there. So anyone can contact me and reach out to me through that.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much, Tanpreet. That was like great chatting with you about all of this, and we really wish you great luck on your upcoming pageant.
Yes, thank you.
And all the best with like spreading your messages with Stigma-Free Society. So have an amazing day. Thanks everyone for watching today, and we will be in touch. We will see you, I think, in 2 weeks on a Thursday. So bye everyone. Bye Tanpreet. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thanks.